Imagine finding a strange berry in a forest. It looks juicy, smells sweet, and your body is starving. Do you eat it? One wrong guess, and that berry could be the last thing you ever eat. This was the exact situation ancient humans faced every single day. Thousands of plants surrounded them. Some were food, some were medicine, and some could kill a person within hours. There was no label, no warning sign, no internet to search, "Is this poisonous?" So how did ancient humans figure out which plants were safe and which ones were deadly? The answer involves centuries of trial and error, careful observation, and a price paid in human lives. And understanding this process reveals something remarkable about how fragile and how resilient early human survival truly was. To understand the scale of this challenge, consider that a single forest could contain hundreds of different plant species. Some looked almost identical to each other, yet one could nourish a person for days, while the other could stop their heart within hours. There was no shortcut, no universal rule that applied to every plant everywhere. Each region, each climate, each ecosystem required its own separate body of knowledge, built up slowly over generations. The most brutal method was simple: direct testing. Someone had to try the plant first. Sometimes this happened by accident, when a hungry person ate something unfamiliar out of desperation. Other times, it may have been intentional. A small taste tried cautiously, watched closely by others in the group. If the person who ate it got sick, or worse, didn't survive, that plant was marked as dangerous. This knowledge was passed on immediately, often through urgent warnings shared around the fire that same night. This is a difficult truth. Every rule about which plants were poisonous was likely written in the suffering of someone who came before. Each survival lesson had a human cost. But humans didn't rely on trial and error alone. They also became incredibly skilled at reading nature's own warning signs. Ancient humans noticed something powerful. Animals rarely eat things that will kill them. If a bird, deer, or monkey avoided a particular plant completely, that was a strong clue that something was wrong with it. Early humans studied which plants animals ate freely and which ones they consistently ignored. This observation-based knowledge became one of the most reliable early warning systems for plant safety, refined over countless generations of watching the natural world closely. But this method had limits too. Some animals could safely eat plants that were completely toxic to humans. Certain birds, for example, can consume berries that would be fatal to a person because their digestive systems process specific toxins differently. Ancient humans had to learn not just what animals ate, but which animals could be trusted as a guide and which ones couldn't, adding yet another layer of hard-won knowledge to an already complicated puzzle. Smell and taste also played a critical role, though a risky one. Certain bitter, sharp, or unusually strong smells were often linked to toxic compounds. Over time, humans developed an instinctive caution toward extremely bitter tastes, since many poisonous plants share this exact bitterness as a natural defense mechanism. This is actually still true today. Bitterness in nature is frequently a chemical warning sign, and our modern dislike of intensely bitter flavors may be a leftover survival instinct from these ancient lessons. Another major clue came from visual patterns. Certain colors, textures, and shapes were noticed to repeat among dangerous plants. Bright colors on berries, unusual milky sap when a stem was broken, or specific leaf shapes became mental red flags, passed down as rules of thumb long before anyone understood the actual chemistry behind them. These weren't perfect rules. Nature doesn't follow one simple pattern, but even a slightly better than random guess repeated across generations saved countless lives over time. Ancient humans also relied heavily on preparation methods to make certain plants safe. Some foods that were dangerous raw became perfectly edible after specific treatment, like soaking, boiling, or fermenting. Discovering these exact processes likely took enormous experimentation, and getting the timing or method wrong could still result in illness. This means ancient humans weren't just identifying poison. In many cases, they were actively neutralizing it. transforming dangerous plants into reliable food sources through careful, repeated technique. One striking example involves certain root vegetables that contain natural toxins when raw, but become completely safe once properly processed through extended soaking and cooking. Discovering the exact combination of time, temperature, and method needed to make such a plant edible likely took an enormous number of failed attempts, some of which would have ended in serious illness or death, before the correct process was finally understood and remembered. Knowledge like this couldn't be lost. A single generation forgetting a crucial detail could mean sickness or death for their children. This is likely why so much plant knowledge was tied to storytelling, ritual, and strict teaching passed from elder to child. Children would have learned early which plants to avoid, often through direct instruction, repeated warnings, and closely supervised foraging. This wasn't casual knowledge. It was survival information treated with the same seriousness as fire safety or predator awareness. In many ancient cultures, specific individuals became specialists in plant knowledge entirely, the earliest form of what we might now call an herbalist or healer. These individuals held extensive mental libraries of which plants healed, which plants harmed, and exactly how to prepare each one safely. This specialized knowledge gave certain people significant respect and authority within their communities, since a single mistake could devastate the group, while expert knowledge could save it during times of famine or hardship. These early plant experts likely held one of the most valuable roles a person could have in ancient society. Their knowledge wasn't written down anywhere. It existed only in memory, passed through careful teaching and repeated practice. Losing such a person to illness or accident could mean losing decades of irreplaceable survival knowledge in a single moment, which is likely why this expertise was so often shared with multiple trusted individuals within a group, rather than kept by just one person alone. Modern science has since confirmed that many ancient plant warnings were remarkably accurate, even without any understanding of chemistry or toxicology. Compounds we now identify by name, like alkaloids or cyanogenic glycosides, were being avoided by ancient humans purely through careful pattern recognition and hard-earned experience. In some cases, ancient remedies using specific plants have led modern researchers directly to real medicinal compounds still used today. The line between ancient trial and error and modern pharmacology is much thinner than most people realize. It's worth pausing on just how remarkable this really is. Without laboratories, without written records for most of human history, and without any concept of chemistry, ancient humans built an accurate, life-saving system of knowledge purely through observation, memory, and shared experience. Entire communities survived generation after generation because someone, somewhere, paid close attention and remembered what they learned. So, the next time you walk past a plant and think nothing of it, remember that identifying which one might kill you took thousands of years and probably no small number of lives to fully understand. This knowledge, learned through fear, loss, and careful observation, became one of the quiet reasons humanity survived at all. It's easy to take food safety for granted today, when every ingredient at the store has already been tested, labeled, and approved long before it ever reaches your hands. But that safety exists because of thousands of years of accumulated knowledge, most of it learned the hardest way possible by people who had no other choice but to find out. If you find this kind of ancient survival knowledge fascinating, let us know in the comments which ancient survival skill surprises you the most. And if you want more deep dives into how ancient humans figured out the world before science existed, hit subscribe for more, because survival history is full of stories just like this one, hidden in plain sight all around us.